Hi everybody, I'm Rebecca Keppel. I am super excited to be here on ThermOWeb's YouTube channel. We are doing a Christmas in August and I have a layout that I created using some ThermOWeb products. I don't have any Christmas collections right now, so I pieced together some things from different ThermOWeb products that made this look like a Christmas layout even though I don't have themed product, and I love doing that. So let me show you what I have. I have the Brutus Monroe Big Dots Designer Sheets. I have the Brutus Monroe Green Sketch Foil. I have some thickers from American Crafts, some white cardstock from American Crafts, and some pattern paper from Doodlebug. Okay, so the first thing I'm going to do is take that designer sheet from ThermOWeb and I am just going to trim this down. So I take off that little margin around the edge and then I trim two pieces down to 4 by, what is it, by 8.5. So these are 8.5 by 11 sheets. So I have two 4 by 8.5 and one 3.5 by 8.5. And now I'm going to trim some foils down to match the sizes, just to make them a little bit larger. Just going to use some scissors to trim down those foil sheets so that I don't waste any of my foils. I can keep those little scraps for other things. I have my laminator nice and hot, get it nice and hot, at least 10-15 minutes, and then I make my little parchment paper sandwich with my foil color side face up. When it comes out, you can peel it off and it creates that beautiful foiled paper. I'm going to trim off the UPC code on the Doodlebug pattern paper, and then I'm going to trim down the white cardstock about, let's see, about 1/2 inch on two sides. That's going to give me a little bit of an edge on that red pattern paper there. I like that little pop of color. So now I am taking my photo, which is a 4x6 photo that I added little squares to so that I could include 6 different pictures in this one photo that I printed out. And I am mounting it on some white cardstock to give it that nice white edge. And now I'm going to mount it on the green Swiss dot from Doodlebug. And I am using my Memory Runner XL. It's my favorite tape runner for sure when I'm doing scrapbooking especially. Okay, and now I'm going to flip over those pieces of the big dots from Brutus Monroe and adhere them down to my cardstock. I really like the way this looks because you get that little bit of white in between the different pieces. So I've cut them into 3 pieces and I'm piecing them back together. The other thing that's convenient about making smaller pieces is that it's easier to foil. If you're trying to foil a whole 8.5 by 11 sheet, can be done, but it's a little trickier and you really have to make sure you get good pressure and it's all even and all of that. So when I cut it down to smaller sizes, makes it easier for me to get good foil coverage. Okay, now I am using the Gina Designs for ThermOWeb white foam squares. I'm just going to put a whole bunch of them on the back of my mounted photo and then peel off that release paper so that I can lay it down, and I'm going to this way pop up my photo. And I just like the way, especially on something real bright and busy like those big dots from Brutus Monroe, this just keeps the photo being the star of the show. Now I'm going to use my thickers. This is my favorite way to make a straight title, is to already have a place to put it that's already lined up. So those Brutus Monroe big dot foiled pieces were already kind of lined up, so it makes my title easy to line up on top. Okay, now I have the Gina Designs for ThermOWeb tag dies, and I cut out one tag out of Gina Designs craft cardstock, and I'm just going to use the Gina for ThermOWeb Gingham fancy ribbon, which is in black and white check, and I'm going to tie just a little knot at the top of that tag, and then I'm going to do that trick where you fold it in half and then cut at an angle to create those nice little tails. And you see there that that I had to change the angle of my scissor because for some reason my brain just always wants to do it the wrong way. I'm going to use some white gel pen to do just a little bit of journaling. I actually hadn't scrapbooked these photos yet from last year, and the reason is because I didn't take a ton of photos for Christmas, and so I just wanted to talk about how my kids are getting bigger, but there's still some things about Christmas that we really, really love as a family. I'm going to tuck that tag just a little bit behind the photo, and then I'm just going to trim those tails just a little bit more because they were just a little too long. So now I thought it'd be fun to add some stamping at the bottom of this layout. I have the Gina K Designs for ThermOWeb, the Stampn'Foil stamp set called Holly Jolly, and I have some Distress Oxide ink in Mowed Lawn. And I'm going to take that little pine needle branch there, and I'm going to stamp it at the bottom of my layout. And I know I used to really, really freak out about stamping on layouts, especially after it was mostly done. But you know what? Anything can be fixed. So now I just don't stress about it, and I just have fun. And I really love stamping now, whereas before it really kind of just stressed me out. Now I just have fun with it. Okay, so now I'm going to do the poinsettia next. And again, I am just going to go back and forth between the two, but I am going to flip the branch around. I love how this branch can be curved downward or upward, and so I thought it'd be fun to do both on this layout. And then I'm going to stamp the poinsettia again. The poinsettia is actually a layering stamp, and in a minute I'm going to show you the second layer. The pine branch is a single layer stamp, so you don't have to worry about layering that at all. I love how realistic it is, and it's so pretty with the Distress Oxide ink, I think, at the bottom of this layout. Okay, so here's the second layer to the poinsettia. It's just a couple of little circles that are the flower center. And I'm going to bring in the mustard seed because if you can see in the photos, there's like 3 places where you kind of get that orangey yellow in the photo. And so I had thought it would be fun to bring them all together. And that's it. Really super easy to pull this layout together and without any really themed product except for the stuff from last year, like the Holly Jolly stamp set. So I had a lot of fun making this layout, and it was really nice to look back on Christmas, even though it's only August and it's like 111 degrees here right now. But this was a lot of fun for me. So I hope you'll take a look at some of the product that you already have before you even buy the new Christmas products and start making some layouts or even some cards. And then in a couple of weeks, I'm sure there'll be some Christmas products that you'll want to get and make more stuff with. So I want to thank you so much for stopping by today. All the products that I used today will be linked down below. Have a wonderful day.